Good morning. It's September the 30th, 2015, end of the month, end of the quarter, and that usually brings rallies in equity markets. We've talked about this the last couple of days. Stock markets around the globe are up overnight and pointed higher this morning as the E-mini opens. The strength and rally in the stock markets is attributed to statements from Japan's Abe, who says we need more quantitative easing because inflation hasn't come back, and Europe is the talk in Europe is that they'll have to double their QE program to $2.2 trillion and extend it into 2018 because there's no inflation in Europe to get the ship turned around. So the solution is, well, we just didn't have enough money last time, so we need more money. The program will eventually work, and every central bank in the world is on the same page, and that's why these programs can go on, because if a central bank ever breaks ranks and stops this program, then this house of cards will tumble. But the strength all together, no matter what happens, is what we face right now. So what I think is really interesting is that the selling in treasuries started on the opening. You can see right there in Globex. And one of the best signs you get directionally which way the market's going to go is the opening is the high or the low of the session. And this started at 6 o'clock last night, Eastern time. So somebody knew that Abe was going to say things. Somebody knew what the financial meme was, and they positioned themselves accordingly. So somebody always knows. You've got to keep that in mind. Right now we're on our lows. I don't think they can break the market today for the reasons we always talk about. We are pointed lower. We talked about the E-mini closing at 1900 for the last couple of days, and I think that's a very real possibility. So we are pointed lower. 5 to 9 will be buy 1. Buy 2 will be 29 to 01. And again, the selling is going to be more in the 30-year than it will be in this one, and we'll put a question mark at 12. On the sell side, the spill was from 18, so 15 to 19 is sell 1, and sell 2 is 23 to 27. Today's news, really 2 pieces of news only. ADP, 190,000. It usually is forecast in the 210s, so that's a little bit lower. And Chicago PMI at 53.6. And that's the automobile industry. That's what that number is taken to represent. So I think, again, the direction of the E-mini is primal. I think closing at 1900 probably is what is in store, or higher. And if that is true, treasuries will stay under pressure, but probably not break. Okay, the knob spread yesterday went out at 29.02. This morning it's at 28.17.5, or it was when I took the numbers this morning. Pointed lower. The issue is how much of the selling is already in the market. And that's the great ponderable, the unknown. So we got this breakout right here from 56.21. We've got this D period low. We've got this C period low right there at 56.15. So 56.16 to 20 is probably pretty good support as we start out. So we'll make buy 1, 17 to 21. The idea will go a little lower. And then 5 to 9, because when this market breaks that first support level, it gets to the number 2 level quickly. There's just like there's no in between. On the sell side, the spill was from 57.09. We're currently at 56.27. Last rotate up was 02. So 57, 57.04, sell 1. Maybe a 31. It can go a little bit higher because of this X up here and this low volume number at 2. But may take a 31 to get in. And then the London high is 10.11, so 9 to 13 will be sell 2. Now if the E-mini sells, we just don't want any part of the short side of the market. Financials aren't driven like equities. Nobody really knows. They just, you know, you're in the treasuries, you're into bonds, you're in it for the check, you're in it for income. And as long as your income is stable and the value of your portfolio is reasonably close, nobody pays a lot of attention or as much attention to the end of the month performance or end of the quarter performance in bond treasury funds. Not at all like they do in the stock market. I mean, all the chatter about markets is always about the stock market. Get you excited. It's where you get rich, buying stocks, right? You can get very, very wealthy buying stocks over time, especially if you have one that pays a pretty good dividend and you enter the reinvestment program and you don't touch, you let everything get reinvested and you don't touch your capital. Okay, we left gold last night thinking that it would sell. And it did. We were hoping to sell the 30-32 area, didn't get close, 27 held. So we have this excess. Our number 2 buy zone was 19 to 21, so that's where support is right now, 19 to 21. So we'll be buyers at 19 to 21. And then 14 to 16. Looks like it's going to go a little bit lower. I think we might be able to buy it a little better. Stops below the W period low, but if we don't, then 19 to 21's there. 25, 27, sell 1. 30, 32, sell 2. And gold's probably going to, because of the end of the month into the quarter, is probably going to look at a fairly quiet session. But our assessment last night on the close that it would sell turned out to be correct. Okay, China took the yuan higher last night. I think that's maybe the second, maybe the third day this week that they've taken the yuan higher. There are some really, I mean, there's some very momentous things going on. Russia is moved into Syria. Iran, Russia, and China have formed an intelligence group. Cooperation, they're going to work together. Russia is installing their equipment and soldiers and aircraft into Syria. Last night, Russia told the United States to quit flying into Syrian airspace. One of the bases that they're building up at the port is air defense radar. I'd be interested to see what they say to Israel. So I mean, what is going on in the world? I mean, this giveaway, and everybody is going to seize as much territory as they can as long as this administration's in place, and the getting, while the getting is good. And so it's hard to know how this is going to shake out. We know the ending's not going to be pleasant, but that's where we are. Okay, the yuan is up overnight. The euro's down a little bit. So there's no magic there. We were hoping to sell 1300s. We did not get close. We're at 27, so selling the 1250 area plus or minus. Sell 1. 75, sell 2. On the buy side, 112 even, buy 1. And buy 2 is 1174. If the ADP number comes in higher than forecast, greater than 190, this should come off a little bit. So we're looking for this market to be a little lower. Crude oil, pieces come to the Middle East, right? We're not getting this hint and talk of war and the Allah pronouncement at the UN and what Russia has done. The market's not batting an eye. One Saudi prince came out and said that The leadership in Saudi Arabia needs to be replaced. He and some other princes are getting together to discuss about it. I guess that would be classified, if they pull it off, as a peaceful coup. But dictatorships are like banks. Everything looks fine, everything's cool, and then they fail overnight. And that the Saudi leadership, generally speaking, is 75 to 85 years old. They pass the throne on to the next guy in line, who usually is an elder statesman, and that was the case again this time. So could be something to that type of talk coming out of Saudi Arabia, don't know. But that's another bit of instability. So right now we're still in a trading range. We've got a seller 45.50 above. We've got a buyer 44.50 or below. Dollar trading range. So right now 45.24, 45.50 sell 1, and 45.75, 46 sell 2. On the buy side, 44.50, 44 and a quarter buy 1, 44 even, 43.75 buy 2. And to the E-mini. We've been talking about a good place for this market to close today was 1900, and that's certainly within reach. And to go back and get a little perspective, there's that break at 1900, 1905. And we're going to have these lows up here, this 1910 area, give or take, 1912, so 1910 plus or minus, so 1900, 1903. 1910 plus or minus 2, then it jumps all the way really up to 25, and that's where the high volume number is. So the low volume number right here is in 1907. We get through that, not going to be too difficult to get up to the 25-30 area. But I don't think, no matter what they attribute the overnight market strength to, and it's a pretty weak reason if you think about it. Well, things are so bad that the European Union and Japan have to do more quantitative easing. And the United States will too, buy stocks. That's pretty, you'd like to have more than that to make those investments with. So 1900, 1905 is going to be sell 1. 10 to 15 is going to be sell 2. Stops above 1900 is where I think they can take the market. London's low was 89. We're at 95 right now. So our first buy is 85 to 90. And then 75 to 80 for buy 2. ADP 190K. If it comes in above that number, market can pretty easily rally. Comes in less than that, it'll probably come off, but won't break. I think we closed it at 1900. Then Chicago PMI at 53.6. And same for that one. If it comes in lower, I don't think anybody pays a lot of attention to it. If it comes in higher, the market can rally. So it's going to take a bit to get everything up and posted. I'm going to get busy on that. I will be back with you as soon as possible.